You see, AI can write, calculate, and predict, but it will never replace one thing: is human trust. You see, everyone right now is excited about AI tools like ChatGPT, Sora, Midjourney. People are basically automating faster than ever before. But you see, trust. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. Whether it's business, health related, money, or friendship, without trust, the tech doesn't matter because the tech is simply the tool itself. So today in this stream, I wanted to explain why AI can't replace human trust and what role humans must always play. So as it's usually the case, I will put myself aside here. Let's just put it there. Here we go. So the first idea is the mirage of automation. You see, many businesses assume if we add AI, customers will be happy. And obviously, the businesses will reduce the cost. That's the other thing. But you see, as an example, those chatbots replacing customer service. I'm sure you had one way or another, you had this experience, especially with shipping companies, where actually, the first person, well, it's not even the person, you actually, the first thing that they do, they put they put an AI in front of you, and you have to interact with the AI. If you want to talk to somebody, to an agent, to a human, because you have an issue that you cannot resolve, well, you have to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes just back and forth with an AI that will basically throw on you a bunch of suggestions to make you work, instead of having some customer service. So basically, instead of faster service, many people feel kind of ignored or misunderstood, basically. So people don't feel cared for, and that's the fundamental thing. They don't feel cared for. They feel like pushed away. Like, nobody cares about you. They put an automated system in front of you, and good luck with this one. And basically, the key insight here is that automation creates efficiency, but you see, efficiency doesn't always equal to trust. It doesn't. It's not because you have a really efficient, effective, or even technology or amazing technology that this means you keep the trust that you have with your customers. That's actually not the case. So, what's really is trust? Because fundamentally, you see people assume, yeah, we need trust. Trust is important. Trust is the best of economy. Wanna people trust us? Yes, but what exactly is trust? Nobody is really these days asking that question. Everyone wants that complicated, highly complex concepts, ideas, and everything that goes with. Even when I hear economists, they're talking about a bunch of things. They talk about the stock market. They talk about all of those highly complex idea, but nobody is talking about trust. And trust is when you believe someone or something will act in your best interest. If you're an employee or if you have customers, it doesn't matter what it is. If your boss or your customer or your client knows without any doubts, and not only believes but knows that you have their best interest in mind, believe me, you will never lose them. Never, 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 never. You will never lose your job. You will never lose your customer, because there will be a high degree of trust. Very often people are talking about the value that you have to provide to the client. Yes, you need to provide value, but you also need to have a high degree of trust. And trust is built on consistency, honesty, and obviously transparency. Very often, that's the three pillars of creating a good trust with any human, basically: consistency, honesty, and transparency. So as an example, when you order food from a restaurant, And I know it's kind of it's a simplest example, but when you order food from a restaurant, you trust they won't poison you. Obviously, you don't double check their kitchen. You don't ask for some proof from them or whatever it is. You just trust them, and that's the kind of trust that usually is required. So trust requires human judgment and accountability, not just patterns. AI, creates patterns, but you need to have human judgment and also accountability. Somebody needs to be responsible. AI can provide answers, but it can promise without giving them or stand behind them the way a human does. Again, it's a question of responsibilities and accountability. I mean, AI could create a bunch of things, but would you put your life in the hands of AI? Well, that's where it becomes a little bit more tricky. So, why AI fails at trust? You see, we could look at this as the black box problem. Most people don't know how AI makes its decision. Like, why did it approve a specific loan if, let's say, there's AI working for a financial institution? Why did it deny that diagnosis if it's in the health sector? You see, AI has no emotions. Like, the trust often comes from empathy. AI can simulate empathy for sure, but we know deep down it doesn't care so much. And mistakes without, AI also, when it comes to mistakes without responsibility, when AI makes an error, who apologizes? AI itself? Is it the company, the manager? You can hold the AI accountable, so to speak. As an example, imagine an AI misdiagnoses a patient. Even if the math was correct 99.9% of the time, the family wants a doctor to explain, reassure, and take some responsibility. And that's where a human needs to be in the loop, so to speak. So at this point, what's your role? Build is basically building the trust bridge. I call it the trust bridge because it's kind of convenient and easy to understand. You see, AI gives capability, but humans gives credibility. People trust the doctors who explains, not the AI tool behind the screen. I mean, AI, because AI is simply a tech, it's simply a tool. People trust a brand's reputation, not the algorithm they use for recommendations. And again, it's all about trust. I mean, you trust somebody or you trust a brand. Let's say Amazon suggests products, but customers don't trust the algorithm. They trust the Amazon's brand and the customer service, obviously, to refund them if something goes wrong. And don't forget that very often people they're looking at the score of the product, and that score it doesn't come from AI itself. It comes from clients who put some from 1 to 5 how many stars that products deserve, and this is something that comes from human social trust, social proof. It doesn't come from AI, it comes from other humans. So my main point here is that humans are the bridge between AI's power and people's trust, because AI is simply a tool. So the competitive edge, if you want it to be as competitive as possible, and if you need to have an edge in this in the new AI-based economy that will come, trust. You need to have a trust as a strategy, absolutely, because in the future everyone will have access to basically the same AI tools. Even today we have something similar. Obviously we have different models, but it is similar at some point. And two companies may use the exact same AI models, but only the one customers trust will win. Even if the values are the same or the values are kind of similar, obviously everything will depend on trust. As an example, I will say, let's say you have a fintech apps, do you trust a random unknown startup with your money? Or do you go with the one that shows clear policies, good customer service, and a reliable name? That's where the whole trust is going to be. And you see that people, what we can learn here is that people don't buy AI itself. They buy trust wrapped around AI. And if you saw all the investments in all of those AI startups, it's actually they're selling. Well, this obviously they're selling. They're selling the how can I say that, the promise. They're selling the promise that there will be a return on investment, but it's basically trust wrapped around the AI itself. It's not the AI itself, by the way. Okay, so when it comes to if you want to have a practical framework around it, how to build trust in an AI business, or if you simply working with AI. First things first, you need to have transparency. Explain how your AI makes decisions. Even simple language works. Then accountability. If the AI fails, human must take responsibility and not push blame. And also you need to have that human touch point. Always keep real people in the loop, especially for sensitive situations. Never, 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 like all those shipping companies, put AI as your front man. That's the worst thing to do. You're gonna lose customers. You're gonna lose trust. I mean, AI it's a good tool, but it needs to be used in conjunctions with people, because people create trust, not necessarily AI itself. And then consistency. Deliver reliable results over time. This builds long-term trust. Basically, it's all about consistency. As an example, let's say there's a bank using AI, and AI must still have this advisors available. Otherwise, customers feel completely abandoned. If the only thing you're doing, if you go to the bank and you want somebody to advise you, and you are face to face with an automated system, well, I mean, you could find an automated system online or within any bank. The competitive advantage will be if you basically have somebody to talk to. If there's something that is not highly automated, that is not highly cold, so to speak. So that's it for today. Obviously, the main idea here, that I wanted to, if we do some very simple recap. AI is powerful. That's we know. I'm not against AI, by the way. AI is powerful. It's offer amazing capability, but trust is the glue that makes people adapt and stay loyal. Whether you're an employee or a service provider, whatever you have a business or you have a job. And you see, AI can make predictions, but only people can make promises and kind of keep them. And even people, not all people can make promises and keep them, but if you can make promises and keep them, that's where the whole difference will play. And I would like to know what do you think about the whole thing about trust and AI. Do you personally trust AI with your money, health, or even career decisions? Why or why not? Just put some your answers, put your comments in the comment section, And on this one, thanks for watching. Really appreciate you. And put some like, subscribe if it's not already the case. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.